Hi everyone. This week in maths we're going to continue with money, but we've skipped on to page 142 and we're going to be looking at how to multiply money on Monday and Tuesday. So, like when we started with plus and take away with money, just because it's money doesn't make any difference to it. It's still the same as a normal multiplication sum, like the way plus and minus was still the same as a normal sum. The only difference is at the end of the sum, you're going to have to put in a euro sign or a cent sign or whatever. It's not any different apart from that. So if we have a look at, let's say, question 1E, it's 69 cent multiplied by 5. So that's just going to be the exact same as 69 multiplied by 5. So we're going to do our 5 times tables because it's with 5s, and I'm going to count all the way up to 9 times. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So I put down my 5 and I carry my 4, and then 5 sixes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 plus 4 gives me 34. And now, this is the only part of the sum that's going to be different. I have 345 cent, which I can write it as 345 cent, but that's kind of a strange way to do it. So usually what we do, like you were doing last time with the money, we change it to euros and cents. So it's going to be 3 euros and 45 cents. So we just put that dot in the middle there and that shows the difference. So basically, if it's more than 2, you're going to have to put a dot in the middle of it because cents go up to 99 cent before it turns into a euro. So if this was 3.99, that's okay. Or if it was €3 and 1 cent, that's okay. Any more than that, we have to put the divider in it. So let's say our answer was 2011. It was a really big one, like that. So we're going to count back 2, 1, 2, put our decimal point in there, put our euro sign here, and then we've got €20 and 11 cent. So the only difference between doing money multiplication and doing regular multiplication is what you put in at the end. If you can't remember, have a look at question 2 and it will give you a hint every time, because every single one of these has 2 numbers after the decimal point. You won't have any more than 2 numbers after the decimal point. Because you can do it as I did the first place without the decimal point altogether, but then our answer, like let's say instead of 134, your answer would say 134 cent instead of saying €1.34. And it's not wrong, but I just think it's better to start using the euro sign and the decimal point like this. So we'll try it that way. Then that's for part 1. Part 2 is going to be the same, except they've already started to divide them. So let's say, for example, you have €4.38 multiplied by 5. Now I'm using 5s as our example because you all know your 5 times tables. But remember, if you don't know your tables for any of the ones, like let's say you didn't know your 8 times tables, we can still draw groups. So you can still draw like we usually do all along with dots and make our groups and count up in 8s. You don't have to know the tables to be able to do it. It just takes a bit longer. So I'm going to do 2 part G for an example. So it's 438 multiplied by 5. Now, because in their sum they already had the euro sign in and the decimal point, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to keep it there from the beginning, and I think that kind of makes it easier as well. So I'm going to start off 5 multiplied by 8. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Put down my 0 and carry my 4. And then 5 multiplied by 3. 5, 10, 15. 15 plus 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19. Put down my 9 and carry my 1. Now this decimal point, I'm going to keep it in the exact same spot. So if it was here, it goes under here. The way that I check if I'm right is if there's 2 numbers after the decimal point, then I know that I've put it in the right place, because it's going to be something and 90 cent. So now I'm on to 5 multiplied by 4. That's 5, 10, 15, 20. Plus 1 is 21. So now I'm nearly finished. I've got 21.90, and I just need to bring my euro sign down into the same place as well. So now I've got 21 euro and 90 cent. Now, if you look further down on the page, it's asking again the same type of questions but in different ways. So it's showing you that a hat is €7.65, a scarf is €8.49, socks are $6.29, a t-shirt is $9.79, and the ball is $9.35. And it wants to know down here, find the cost of 6 hats, 8 football jerseys, sorry, not t-shirts, football jerseys, 4 scarves, 9 footballs, and so on. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. When we first learned multiplication, we learned that it was adding again and again and again. So if you want to do it that way, 6 hats, you're going to add 765 6 times, and it's going to be a big long plus sum. Or the other way that you can do it is you can do a multiply sum. So let's say if we do 3 part B for an example, they want to know the price of 4 scarves. You can either add 8.49 plus 8.49 plus 8.49 plus 8.49, because that's 4 scarves. Or the quicker way to do it is to use multiplication. So let's do the multiplication. So 1 scarf is 8.49, and they want to know how much it will be if I bought 4 of them. So I'm going to multiply that by 4. It's going to look like this. 8.49 multiplied by 4. Now, again, you all know your 9 times tables, so you know when we're doing our tables, we're always looking for the easier way to do it. If you know your 4 times tables, then do 4 groups of 9. If you know your 9 times tables better, then you do 9 groups of 4. I'm going to do 9 groups of 4 because I know that we all know our 9 times tables. So I'm going to go 9, 18, 27, 36. So that's 9 groups of 4. So I put down my 6 and I carry my 3. Now I've only got 4s here, so I have no choice. I'm going to have to do my 4 times tables. Remember, if you don't know them, go up the top and you'll draw like 4 groups of 4. So here's 1 group of 4, another group of 4, another group of 4, another group of 4, and you add them all up and you'll find out what the answer is. But if you do know your tables, you just count in 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 plus the 3 that I carried over is 17, 18, 19. Put down my 9, carry my 1, keeping the decimal point where it was. So I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to double check, is there 2 numbers after it? Yeah, there's only 2, so I know I did it in the right place. And then 4 groups of 8 or 8 groups of 4. I'm going to choose 8 groups of 4 because it's quicker if you know your 8 times tables. But remember, if you only know 4s, stick with 4s. If you don't know any, back to the groups. So I'm going to go 8, 16, 24, 32. 32 plus 1 that I carried is 33. And then my last step in the sum is to put my euro sign down. And then I've got €33 and 96 cents.